Yeah, folks, I'm currently at something, I'm doing my stuff, I'm doing my sort of obligations that I have, preparations for something in 2 weeks, and, by the way, spontaneous recording, just decided to do this because, it is, I've come back to a moment to which I come up so much, so often, probably relatable. Some of you know it, you have to do your stuff, in which you just fucking, you have, made your drawings or something, you made your scribbles, and then okay, I have to execute this into this. So I have sort of part of my mind or part of my brain that can enjoy some sort of music. I'm easily distracted, by the way, or I'm not the most focused and concentrated person, by the way. So sometimes I think, okay, I can allow myself to listen to music or something in the background so that my brain is sort of semi busy with stuff in the background. So like cave incident, diving incident, heavy accidents or something, extra splatter, multi-bloody, completely destruction, shredded people all in body parts everywhere, stuff. Sometimes even boring shit, or Reddit compilations, so that something's in the background that my mind can listen, or that my mind receives the signal, this acoustic signal, but the main thinking, the main operating part, the main focus, the real focus part of my mind concentrates itself on what I have to do. But why do I record this stuff? I have been come back to my game playlist. And by the way, I was, processing through music before, and, I'm the sort of ragey guy. I sometimes really rage, I really burst, I really release. When I listen to music sometimes, I release this shit, I release this stuff, I have some sort of a thing when listen to music, and then there's some part in a track, and it really triggers some sort of, hidden inside me energy, some sort of an energy pocket gets just pierced open and just needs to release in order to feel the music, in order to really feel the tune. But then I remember, I have fucking neighbors. But then I remember, I don't have to fucking care about that. My neighbors know me and they know that I'm loud sometimes. And I sometimes ask myself, why didn't they have the cops? Why didn't they call the cops by this point? But at least, and then I have some sort of regrets that I have just been come out of me and have not been silent like everybody else. But I do not want to be silent like everybody else, because it seems to be a modern trend that everybody lives so close to each other, so this building and this building and this building, and everybody just hears through the walls, and you can never be private anymore. This is a thing I'm sort of feeling. So, and then I have again these regrets in which I say, okay, people will probably say that I'm dumb or disordered, or I need to go to the hospital for this, and then say, just F off, bitch. At least I'm not some sort of a modern day 23 zombie who's always just fucking eating his emotions inside of himself. And again, what does this have to do with this recording? I've come back to my game playlist. I have a playlist with game OSTs, and I've been, it begins with Fallout tracks, because with Fallout I've started to make this list. We've been through some Halo tracks, some old Halo tracks from, I think, Halo 2. From the Halo 2 era, and then we're now in Assassin's Creed. It will continue with other Assassin's Creed parts like Rogue. We will have Minecraft in it, and I think Fez. And when I listen to my game playlist, then I always been sort of time or mind warped back into the day, and then this is the thing where I really feel lonely. Because I think for the guys or for the fellas around you who haven't really witnessed the early 2000s or something, let's say maybe 2005 to 2008, 10, 12. I'm sorry for you. Wait a second, I overthink shit too much. I'm really sorry that you have not witnessed this era, because it was my school time era, and I just want to talk about how cool games were back in the day. I can't remember playing any game in which I've seen any loot boxes or something for money to unlock, because internet was just in its baby shoes. 2008, for example. I always remember this Infinity from Guru Josh project, or however this band's name is. There was a game music video, and YouTube was again just in its kiddie's shoes. YouTube hasn't even visited the elementary school. It was just 3 years old. there was this game video with this infinity, and you will fly infinity. You know, this was one of the things who really, really, you know, stayed in my mind. Or one game music video, maybe I link it down, with Korn in the background, Falling Away From Me, a Dead Space music video. Probably for this day standards, definitely not editing top notch, but it was so cool. And this, you know, this brought me to, I am always at this moment, at this situation, when I think, oh, cool, gaming was so cool, but I have nobody to talk about this. Not my friends, everybody's just busy. And so you can say everybody has just died, because when will anybody ever be unbusy nowadays? So, for you to have witnesses, the examples that I will give now are Assassin's Creed, the first Dead Space original, Borderlands, and Fallout. So, again, gaming. I cannot remember that I have seen any loot box stuff back in the day in games. It was never a thing. Probably somewhere in China, maybe Japanese, whatever, Asian territory. I don't know. But the games I played, like maybe Black, again, Assassin's Creed, Monday Night Combat. I never, Alien Hominid. All the times that we had, probably, yeah, we were in school and the Magic, the Wonder, and all this stuff. But it was always so cool. And nowadays, gaming is just so expectedly boring. The last game I played, not just start with this. Start with telling about old games. I remember First Frontier, witnessing Dead Space, the first release. I would never have probably seen it when it would have known before my friends. My friends' sister's boyfriend told us about Dead Space and it would come out. And I remember, oh yeah, at this time I've had many sleepovers at my bro Danny, because I think he had the game the first, and it was so cool. Plasma cutter, you know, the environment was so cool for its day. It was such a cool thing. The environment was so cool. The interfaces, the digital interfaces, the HUDs for the guns, it was so cool. It was so cool looking. It was so fresh. And this time smelled always like dog. Why did it smell like dog? My bro Danny had a dog, and we went often going rounds with him before we came back to his place and played into the night. It was so cool. Or Borderlands. Sure, it wasn't that graphically top notch and stuff, but I think all these times where, you know, the map size, the little secrets that you were never told about. Or even in Halo. I jumped in with Halo 3, you know. Never had any Halo part before. I, at this point, thought, okay, the other Halo parts, as I looked back, as I searched a little bit, were crap and shit, and I was not interested in it because the level design of Halo 2 and stuff were, for me, way too just basic, you know. But back in the day, first time Halo 3, and there were all these secrets, and there were maybe these secrets that you didn't even know would exist, but you heard it from somewhere. And you know, these old boxy cyberspace designs from websites, old websites. You know, there wasn't all this surveillance, all this restriction. It was more open. It was just boxy, old, over interfaced, over detailed interfaces in everywhere. It was so cool. It was an absolute, you know, nerve over penetration. It was just so cool. And with Fallout 3, I remember I saw this game, and I thought, hey, why do people work so stiffy? So up like this, so stick in the butt like so. They were so stiff, and I thought, well, weapons could destroy or could get trashed. Yeah, I thought, well, what a shit game. Why would anybody play this? Bro, I played it so fucking long. I pumped so many 100 hours in Fallout 3, and it was not because of, you know, back in the day you had no knowledge. You had not seen any documentary about game development or something. You had just the game, and there were these little tiny in Fallout 3, these little tiny secrets, these little tiny hints. Like, for example, who is S.E. in this rock in the outskirts of Magasin? There's this hidden rock, when we did not know where the bobby heads are. We had only YouTube, and you know, Rockopolis I wouldn't have found without YouTube. The Behemoth, Tacoma Park, the sewer system, the metro system. I was really wow. The first really open world game, I think, or the more open worldish game that I played before was Shadow of the Colossus, and I think Prince of Persia. And by the way, Prince of Persia went later into Assassin's Creed. You know, I say we're up to make a new Prince of Persia, and good bridge into Assassin's Creed. The first Assassin's Creed, I remember, it were just the Assassins. Why the Assassins? It was only this necessity stuff. Old robes, only the equipment to kill, to silently stealth kill or something, you know, to just do your assassin job, not this all these extra stuff like, yo, find 50 things over there. I mean, I enjoyed finding the flags because of the collection sound when you picked up the flags, or when you killed the Templars or something. The Templars did not make any sound, but yeah, the flag pickup sound, it was cool. And the first time, really, in Damascus, in Akkon, wow, Jerusalem, it was so cool to all these streets and all this stuff. And then there were this old video. I just showed one video to one of my friends, one of my little newer friends from back in the day, 12 years ago. So 12 years, I think 6 years after, or 7 years after the first, you know, after Assassin's Creed 1 came first out. I think a video from 2012 or 13 where somebody just featured the Megatron, the Optimus Prime head in one of the cities of Damascus or Akkon or whatever. Or this one scene where Garnier, one of the main targets, one of the top 9 men, one of the blacklist that you have to, you know, to just kill. This scene where it was introduced with with this camera angle, with not with cinematic camera angles, with the camera angle that you always could move in these sort of cutscenes. And there was this one guy who ran out of the hospital. The guards stopped him, and he let the guards break his legs. It was so cool. It was so visceral back in the day. The first time, and again, just this open world feeling. Man, I'm actually very glad that I grew up with the first Metal Gear, Old World, Dino Crisis, you know, Need for Speed Most Wanted. The first time I heard of Cell Dweller, and then it was for 10 years or 12, 11 years, 11 to 12 years. I just started to listening to Cell Dweller actively in 2014. But yeah, back in the day, you know, and then Linkin Park and then Eminem, all the stuff. But let's get back to gaming. Halo, bro. Again, even I think even the game engines like from Halo 3, from Halo Reach, this sort of what should I say, motion delay. You know, when you would move your character and they would have some sort of a little following delayed silhouette behind him. It was so cool. Oh man, back in the day, I really miss these times, and I'm so shit. Yeah, sometimes I really wish I would have been witnessing Isle of Beasts. You know, the golden Bungie era days. I sometimes ask myself, wow, what was it to be a game dev back then? Or did they really just come to work and just say, okay, today I give the absolute full metal, maximum overpower, Megazord energy, boom, 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 and I just give it all? Or did they just I was working at Bungie and I was very talented and I just did my shit? You know what I mean? I always ask myself, you know, what does it take to be a great game developer? You know, do you really have to go to work and say, yeah, give it, I want it? Or is it enough if you really have love for the topic or something? But back in the day, I'm so glad that Martin O'Donnell and Joseph Staten and all these secret inputting characters do exist. I'm glad that I've witnessed this. You know, wouldn't it have been for the Black Ops era, and I think for all the secrets from Jason Blundell and all the other guys. Yo, I wouldn't probably haven't been such an aspirer for such secrets and glyphs and hidden codes and messages and signals and symbols. And I'm glad if any Black Ops game comes out, I'm glad that it's sort of a base thing that the zombies mode in any Black Ops thing needs to have secrets. And I think it started out with Jason Blundell and all these guys who really implemented their little kiss on the disc, you know, their touch. You know, it's really... Okay, I know this is just a thing, but okay, bro, I just tell this to the internet. Because it's absolutely... yeah. What's the word? I cannot think of the word. It does not change anything. You know, I could have told this to my friends. I could have sort of hushed it away like I always do because I have nobody to tell to. Or I could tell this to the internet and it makes no difference. But I just wanted to tell this. This is my honest reaction to gaming back then. I really liked it. I really wanted. I really wish these times back. And I would do much to do this. No, gaming was so cool. It was so explorative. It was so you really wanted after school. You ran home. You kicked the door open. 180 backpack from your shoulder. Whack a smash over to your friend. Maybe just I don't know how many. I remember many days in which I just kind of wanted to even upgrade my time to run over to my friend. I think the best was under 5 minutes. It was several hundred or maybe a kilometer away. I don't know. I don't know. I just ran over to my friend's house every day, or sometimes I was at my friend's house even 7 days a week. They sort of, jokishly called me their adoptive child. Because gaming has united and has forced us to so much. Pokemon. Back in the day, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Pokemon Pearl, Diamond Pearl. My first real Pokemon was Pokemon Emerald. And I was so happy to have it. It was all this exploring stuff. And if you look into some interviews, like maybe from Ars Technica interviews, maybe from what's his name? The head or the main idea dude from Oddworld. What's Lauren Lanning? Lauren Lanning, he for example has a part in his interview in which he describes the limited disk space and stuff and how they tweaked around stuff to kind of bypass this stuff. It's cool. And I'm sure this is a thing that you probably think as well. It's obvious like that. But back in the day, there have probably been so much game developers that thought, oh, maybe it wouldn't have been for the limitation of space. What could we introduce? What could we include? Okay, I have less than 10%. Okay. But nowadays it's just graphics. And by the way, for this nowadays trend of things, I understand it for one. It's not that I like to defend this shit, but I know where it comes. But I think without having knowledge, without being trained in that manner, I think it comes down to popularity. Gaming has become popularity, and whenever anything becomes popular, it's just monetizable. It's just, why wouldn't you, make money out of shit that is popular? Why wouldn't you say, oh yeah, cool, popular stuff? No, well, not. And so it is sort of the fault of popularity and demand that the market has become so rush, that's so hushy low. Bam! Next game, next month, This is the reason why gaming has so much subscription. And by the way, the last modern day game I played was Destiny 2. And this is not because I enjoy it anymore. This is because I'm subscribed to it. I had my little project, my little for myself project that I made in the background. But I knew, part of me knew it's redundant, it's senseless. Nobody would care for your shit. And, yeah. And even if I try to say I make it for myself, I want to show my stuff that I do other people so that they like what I do, I never can really do just things for myself. But again, this is my example, Destiny 2. I wish, would I've been a billionaire, I would go over to Bungie and say, hey folks, okay, how much does this shit cost? How much an additional year? How much does it cost? Huh? Or is game development nowadays so expensive that you couldn't pay it with even $1 billion? I don't know. I don't know how much all this stuff costs. But again, would I have been a billionaire, a millionaire, whatever? Would I have enough money? Let's say, okay, we're Bungie. 1 year of game development costs maybe $200 million, and I would say, "Ding, deal, bro!" And I would purchase them. If I would be rich, if I will rich again, have a hypothetical scenario, I would buy Bungie the time that they need, so that they can include another additional year that could really flash out mechanics for raids, maybe 2 raids. Just imagine this, sometime. Wow, just imagine, whoa, 2 raids, wow, wow, 2 raids at once. What an imagination, huh? What a fantasy! Wow, what a cool thing to imagine. But I mean, sometimes when I was living at my mom's house back in the day, and I had so many ideas for games, and I thought, okay, maybe if we think about Destiny, what would be a cool thing for Destiny? or some, let's say we have an additional year for this hypothetical scenario. We have an additional year for a Destiny or shit, and we say, okay, or maybe 2 years. Okay, let's say Final Shape gets delayed or something, and somebody provides the money so that Bungie can develop without any worries. So that maybe we have the next release and it's just, oh bam, the next release. We have seasons still, but all these seasons are so full of content and so sort of character progression system and leveling system with all vendors, you know, real earnable stuff, in-game earnable stuff, no purchases maybe. Then we have maybe 3 raids. We have, let's for example say 7 new strikes. Maybe SRL, Sparrow Racing League continues. Yeah, I really would like to see this coming back. But they said SRL, one track for SRL is as much resources as they need for 3 strikes or something. I heard it. Could be a wrong information. But say, I would buy them this stuff. Yeah, and then play PvP. I'm not a PvPer, not mainly, but I think, you know, this is enough of a crowd that enjoying PvP, man. This is exactly the same important as enjoying PvE, you know. And I would say, okay, let's bam. Because of the community has suffered so many years of PvP being good luggage. Then I would just say, okay, so many maps, maybe like 12 maps or something. I don't know if this is so much. Again, I'm not a PvP main, but still, you know, purchase them this stuff. And Gambit overhaul, new maps, new Gambit sub-modes, you know. What else could come back? Yeah, just so many. I would just upgrade so many stuff, and I really would kind of sort of purchase. I would intend to say, Bungie, okay, my money should go into part of my money. Here's the money that you need, but I give you additional money for my wish, and this is let the world feel a little bit more realistic. Let us fight again with combatants from the Elixni. Let us really feel like the Elixni quarter. The upgrade in Season of Plunder was just a little acid sprinkled over here and there, and they just you know, framed some benches in there. And I know they don't have time, but just imagine what they could do. How would Elixni live? What would they eat? What would their daily schedule maybe be? Maybe this is a question asked too much, too futuristic. But just imagine Elixnis in their quarters, different quarters. Maybe you see different houses. This is what else is kind of missing for me. Seeing different houses, remnant from different houses, and maybe some who, you know, strive themselves off from any house. But still, some who really want to keep their story, like House of Devils, House of Exile, some stuff. Maybe remnants from Destiny 1 and 2 events, strikes. Maybe you have some sort of an vandal or something. That has grown since then and says, yo, I was back in the day in the Strike X Epsilon on Venus or something. And you really see items at a suit or in his area. That really speak for themselves, you know, that really say, okay, they tell their story, environmental storytelling. Yeah, okay, I see this video is 23 minutes long. I think I will end it here, you know, I need to go to the toilet anyway. Yeah, but I will, you know, just wanted to say all this. It's belongless, nobody cares, nobody will ever care, and that's okay, but at least, you know, again, just buy. Gaming was so cool, and we could, I think, make it better. But I think in the future, to make gaming better, we need to sort of kind of say, okay, we have to wait, or we need more indie developers, or maybe in the future we have so many resources and people are so skilled from the get-go that they could say, I could develop my own game, so that we don't need game developers anymore, studios to do the work for us. That we can do it alone, on our own. Maybe. Okay, just again, 25 minutes almost. See you later, bros. Yeah. Okay, it's your browsy. Okay, little additional bit. Again, re-recording, blah, 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 bullshit. So after my surface level research on the Cyberscape, I couldn't, I think it's enough to determine these old videos that or 2 of the 3 at least, aren't online anymore. I searched years back for one of them, for this one Dead Space video, And even back then I couldn't find it, so yeah, I would think they are probably deleted. Yeah, one video was just called True Compilation about the highest bass jump, or I think about any bass jump or cool moments, something with 009 sound system in the background. And the other was one, Dead Space 1 Hive Mind boss battle with Guru Just Infinity in the background. And I know, yeah, it will probably not mean anything to anybody, but yeah, back in the days, these were the days, this were the eater you had consumed. And I think I just slopped a bit. Whatever. Yeah, there are 2 other vids I will link down that I just, they popped into my mind while I was searching through. And I could probably include more, but we are plus 25 min in, so I do not want to waste any more time of you. Not in this video, at least. Yeah, and by the way, last disclaimer before I send off. Yeah, I know someone will probably say, oh yeah, don't, you drool, don't hog around in this puddle of self-pity of old memories of times that will never come again. Yeah, guess what, Master Uguay, I do know. But I just, you have a moment, your real life or your current life situation is permanently shit in your face, and then you think, oh man, let's strive off for a moment into the good old days. Saw some guy just did something cool in his gameplay, picked up his device, just recorded it with shaky hands, wiggly in front of his TV. Yeah, really like these old pixely 30 frames per second things. Not absolute pixel Armageddon, but yeah, okay, blah blah blah. Bye.